Hello and welcome to Village Hospice's annual Memorial and Butterfly release. I am Elizabeth. Village Hospice is a not-for-profit agency affiliated with Knox Village, a life plan community located in Lee Summit, Missouri, and we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. Along with an anniversary comes time to remember people and events that have happened in our lives, like our annual Butterfly Memorial. Over the past 2 decades, this memorial has brought together families and friends of loved ones who have passed in the previous year to hear words of encouragement, listen to music performed by our music therapy department, honor the names of those individuals as they are read out loud, and then we would go outside and release over 200 live butterflies. COVID-19 changed our plans for a large memorial gathering this year, as it has changed the lives of so many. So for the first time in our history, we are presenting a virtual memorial that offers a forum for guests grieving the death or another type of loss to join together well apart to honor memories of things that are gone and changed but are still present in our lives. Memories. Our theme for this year's event that is focusing on helping the old become new again. Our thoughts turn back to a simpler time, a slower time. In the past, when we stayed home, did less traveling, ate out less, enjoyed activities such as reading, doing puzzles, gardening, playing games, and sharing pictures and telling family stories. We encourage you to light a candle and keep a picture or a memento of your loved one close by during the event. Let's take some time to slow down, reflect on people and places that are dear and near to us, and cherish what's most important. Thank you for joining us today. Next, you'll hear from Ketti Dawson, Village Hospice Director.
Welcome to the Village Hospice 2020 Virtual Memorial and Butterfly Release. I'm Ketti Dawson, the Village Hospice Administrator, and I've had the privilege of being a part of this team since 2012. One of my favorite events is the memorial service. Shortly after my father died, I joined Village Hospice, and then a short time after being with this team, I experienced my first memorial and butterfly release. I was apprehensive because of the deep grief I was still experiencing from the loss of my father. I thought that nothing that anyone would do could help me get over my grief. What I have learned is that I do not get over my grief, but rather I work through my grief. And every year that we celebrate our loved ones in our memorial service, I reflect on the many memories of my father, and it brings me peace. So this is my hope for all of you, and that in some way, through the music, the poems, and the releasing of the butterflies, you find some peace. Thank you for joining our annual memorial and butterfly release.
Thank you, Ketti. What a wonderful welcome. It is my pleasure to now introduce Shelly Scheibeler, one of our own Village Hospice chaplains, as she shares words of encouragement with us.
Hi, I'm Shelly, the chaplain with Village Hospice, and I'm here today to talk to you about memories. Memories are amazing when we recall joyous times in the past. Let me give you a couple quotes to help you realize how powerful memories are. One says, "Our memories are the only perfect paradise from which we can never be expelled. No one can take that from us." Another quote says, "A moment lasts all of a second, but a memory lives on forever." And finally, another quote, "You and I have memories that are longer than the road that stretches out ahead." This helps us understand the value of memories. Let me give you the definition. It's that something remembered from the past, a recollection. I love that word, recollection. It is a recollection. It's like we gather and we collect the experiences every time we bring these memories to mind. You are participating right now in a memorial service because we're here to remember loved ones and celebrate. Well, as you remember those joyful, loving times, your heart is warmed. As you recollect the past experiences, It's like giving a bouquet of love and joy to your heart. I remember for me, one time I had a really hard time, lost a loved one with tears streaming down my face, and I shared with a friend, all good things must end. And she looked adamantly in the eye and said, no, Shelly, they don't. You take them with you. Changed my life. It changed my life to recognize I can take all those good things with me. Corrie ten Boom says, memories are the key not to the past, but to the future. Memories anchor us in the storms. Think for a moment of a good memory of anybody. Think about a good memory. Let it come to mind. How does your heart feel? I know for me, recently, my sister came to town. She's never been to Missouri, and my daughter absolutely loves her. Well, we surprised my daughter, and I have videotape of that moment of surprise. I play that video over and over, and every time I do, I laugh, I cry, and I bring up all those feelings again. It feels so good to bring up those memories. Well, memories are the key to the future because we recall great things that we've learned from those that have gone before us. Memories bring to mind gifts that have been passed on to us that then we can pass on to others, and it helps us through those difficult times. Memories can be incredibly powerful influences to give us hope, peace, strength, and courage when we go through difficult times. We can remember those loved ones and how did they teach us to get through it all. It's amazing. I love what the Israelites did. When they had a successful journey through this river they never should have been able to go through, they picked up stones in the middle of the river and they built a monument on the side. They put all those stones. So every time they went past them and future generations went past those monuments, they would recall the great time. It's called an Ebenezer. I want to suggest you build your own Ebenezers today that will bring to mind these memories, these joyful times. Well, you could do something simple, like printing out your pictures and do something old-fashioned, like make a photograph album. Some people remember those. Nowadays, you can send off the pictures and make a photo book. I just went through a photo book at a friend's house, and it felt so good to remember the old memories. You can write in a journal about a few pictures and put the pictures in there and share those journals with others so you pass on the love, the joy, what you've learned from those people. You can even do something that sounds silly. You could buy a souvenir of something that reminds you of that person. And then every time you see it, it reminds you of all that hope and joy and the fun times. For me, I have a pair of sunglasses that remind me of the time I was at the beach with a very dear friend. So whenever I put those sunglasses on, I remember the joy, the hope, the fun, and it warms my heart. So every time you recall great memories, hope, joy, peace, and comfort will fill your heart. So I want to encourage you today, never forget. And to never forget, build some Ebenezers. Build those Ebenezers so those memories can carry you into the future with hope, peace, love, and joy.
You will now hear from Karen Hubbard, Village Hospice Bereavement Counselor, as she reads a poem, None of Us Are Immune, by Jeff Foster.
Hi, I'm Karen Hubbard, the Bereavement Counselor for Village Hospice, and I'm going to share a poem with you today. We will face this situation together with love, humor, and patience. We will weep together. We will laugh together. We will discover togetherness in our apartness. And the worst of it will end one day, and we will have learned so much by then. We will now be called upon to face very difficult feelings inside of us. Fear, grief, the loss of an old way of life, our devastating plans. We will learn to face ourselves. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, nowhere to go except within a sacred quarantine. We will learn to face our boredom, our restlessness. The part of us that wants to be somewhere else, doing something else, with someone else, having some other experience in a very different now, living in some other life. We will let go of the wonderful future we had planned. We will let the fantasy future die, release it, and grieve it. We will return to the solidity and warmth of the present. We will make our present into our home. We will begin again here, build a new house on new soil. We will explore a new way of life, strange at first, but full of possibility, slower, kinder, quieter. We will talk to each other honestly about death and life and impermanence and how we feel about all of the changes that have come to us and our loved ones. We will learn to value life a little more. Yes, perhaps we will learn to value life a little more and live with our hearts cracked slightly open to the elements and lean into uncertainty and find our salvation there. None of us are immune to change, to rupture, to the shattering of old familiar forms. This is the way of things. This has always been the way of things. From this perspective, nothing has gone wrong. Crisis simply means turning point, and none of us are immune from the turning. The breaking of the old makes way for the birth of new. It has always been this way. Love, humor, patience. With these things, we will come through, stronger than before, renewed, ready. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce Charla Whitslett, Village Hospice music therapist, and Marie Ruddy, music therapy intern, as they perform an original song, You Are in My Heart, written for the 2020 virtual memorial.
Heads up in the sky again, reaching for what was. I smile through the tears, but then I think of what's to come. I'm uncertain of tomorrow and even of today. Even as you fly away, I see you in the photographs, but still it's not the same. In our treasure box of memories, I hear you call my name. I'm hoping that someday I'll be with you again. But you are in my heart, and I will hold you close, even as you fly away. Say hello like the butterflies
Reading the names of loved ones that are no longer with us is an important part of our memorial. We can reflect on their lives, their importance, and the bonds that will always remain. Please listen as hospice nurse Chris Darrow and hospice social worker Robin Layton share the following names.
Kathryn Pope, Nora Blankenship, Bette Johnson, Mary Helen Grasser, Neil J. Kelly, Sally K. Dorsey, Ed Burgess, Chris Burgess, Mary Hall, Florian Coip, Eva Lyngar, Elva Snow, Paul Vance, Donna Gaulter, Helen Darling Hines, Earlene Roderman, Bob Littlejohn, Robert Northcutt, Beatrice Janin Carnes, Richard Etherton, Max Erath, Terry Deward Pinkerton, Ruby J. Battle Stevens, Angelia Rook, Howard Fisk, Gwendolyn Cogshell.
Jill Erpelding, June Wetzel, Bonnie Grace O'Neill, Dawn Mull, Martha Brown, Sylvia Sally Reynolds, John David Herndon, Randy Arthur Markham, Don Wood, Robert Bob Perusic, Ashley Renee Cook, Anne Bulig, Delores Link, Ed Taylor, Kenneth Johnson, Norman E. Cox, Leroy Munholland, Majel Ladd, Cheryl Ann Smith, Bonnie Davis, Ed Brenner, Norma Toler, Bobby Jean Fleming, Claudine Corder, Jean Teagarden, Velda Hauser.
We hope this virtual memorial and butterfly release has given you the opportunity to remember those who remain alive in our hearts and in our memories. What's more, we reflect on the many changes that we have experienced through this year. It is with heartfelt gratitude we thank you for spending your time with us today, and we remind you that your life has been and will continue to be a beautiful collage of priceless moments and memories.
My head's up in the sky again, reaching for what was. I smile through the tears, but then I think of what's to come. I'm uncertain of tomorrow.